Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my very first ever new series, Tater Review. It's basically a regular review, except a little bit more relaxed, a little bit just calm, chill, not a whole lot of intense editing going on here. It's just a little unscripted sort of segment about me talking to you guys. And first off, I'd like to apologize for taking so long to make a new video. I'm not going to go over my life story. It's just been very hard for me to commit to making videos, and that's my fault, and I'm sorry for that. So this is here just to try and help bridge the gap in between episodes if this ever 4 months thing happens again. I also have another announcement at the end of the video trying to help that out if you're interested in that. But right now, we're here to talk about Gunman Clive 2. It's a game I originally planned on giving a full review, but again, commitment issues, and that was not fun. So we're just going over a little unscripted sort of a segment here, and I have a notepad so don't get completely off track. But Gunman Clive 2, yeah, this is one of the best games I've played of 2015 so far. And I'm not saying that just because it's one of the only 2 games I've played from 2015 so far. So yeah, there's this and Monster Hunter, and it's not a whole lot of competition, I know, but I really did enjoy Gunman Clive 2. It's very fun, it's very much like the first one. It's essentially just one big improvement. There's more levels, more stages, more levels, more stages. It's the same thing. Good job, me. There's better music, more colors, and it's even more difficult, which I really like. Combination of all of those, it's the idealized sequel. It's not really that much different from what you knew, but it's everything better. That being said, I wish there was like some sort of new elements to the game that could really make it stand out. But I'm not really too upset about that because it's still a very amazing game. You can even tell that in the stages. The stages in this game are just so much better than the original Gunman Clive. There's a lot more creative assets, and a lot more of them have like one-time gimmicks that you'll only see in that level, and it's just absolutely amazing. Some of the things they do, like the oil in the Wild West, that's very cool. There's the panda riding segment, that's really cool too. And there's like, even the first level, it's the same thing as the Gunman Clive's first level, except everything's on fire, it's being destroyed, things are constantly changing around you as you step into new areas, and it's absolutely amazing. It's a great way to kick off the game. Anti-gravity does take a little bit more of a present role in this game, but I never really minded too much because it was used pretty well. But the stages are very fun within themselves, and the boss fights also received an upgrade because they're much more diverse than the first Gunman Clive, but they're also much more fun to fight than the first Gunman Clive was. Gunman Clive 2 is just so much better. You start off fighting this generic robot guy, and he's alright, but then you get to like my favorite boss of the game in the next act, which is the Russian gangster, the Russian anti-gravity master, I guess is the real appropriate title for him, because he changes gravity on you mid-fight, and you have to like adjust and know when to jump and know when to like stay on the ceiling or the floor, and it's absolutely creative. The second phase after that isn't so much fun, but it's a very fun boss fight. It's probably the most fun boss fight in the game, aside from the final boss, which is absolutely amazing. I'm not going to spoil it right here, but even the ending, it's very creative, very ironic. It's something you don't see coming, but you absolutely have a great time with it when it does. And some of the other bosses, like the giant submarine fish and the samurai master, those were also cool fights, and it was really fun to fight them. And I really like the T-Rex because it's on like this auto-scrolling plane. You have to like keep jumping, and you have to try and get on his head, and it's very difficult. You die to that boss. In fact, you die to all the bosses multiple times, but never does it really feel unfair. You always have a good time, and you can see your deaths coming. So you're like, okay, that happened to me. I'll try not to have that happen to me the next time. And it's really fun, and the boss fights are the highlight of the game, if you ask me myself. And that's pretty much the extent of like all the things that Gunman Clive 2 is. Someone might think that it's a pretty generic platformer, and to be honest, it really is that, but it's still a very fun one to play. It's one of the finest I ever played. And because this is one of the finest platformers I've played, I really don't have any problems with this game. If the most of them are just me nitpicking about stuff. Like, I wish that in the Star Fox like shooting segments, there's a reticle that you could see where your shots are going, but it's not really that big of a problem. There are some power-ups that were in the first Gunman Clive that are just absent in this game, and I don't understand why. Well, I guess I kind of understand why. You don't really need them as much. They're not so much practical, or they wouldn't be so much practical in this game, and I can understand that aspect, but it's just kind of funny to me that this game has more of everything else except for power-ups. It's kind of strange, but I'll let it slide. In fact, the only thing I really hated about this game was stage 23, and that was just the most frustrating stage. I didn't really have a whole lot of fun with that one, if I had any fun with it at all. But it was relatively harmless. It was just frustrating, but it was only one level out of like the 25 there are in this game. So in the end, would I recommend Gunman Clive 2? Absolutely, I would recommend Gunman Clive 2. It's only about $3. I believe it's in all the regions by this point. It's only for 3DS right now. More ports are coming eventually, so that's something to look forward to. And if you ever have the chance, get Gunman Clive 2. It's $3, less than a Big Mac. Why wouldn't you want it? That's pretty much it. It's a generic platformer, and it looks simple and not very creative, but it is actually a lot more in-depth than what it seems on the outside, because it's an absolutely great game and one of the best of 2015, even though the year's really only just begun. In fact, actually, it's April now. The year's more than just begun now, and it's still one of the best games I ever played from this year. If you remember at the beginning of the video, you may remember I said that I have an announcement for you guys, and that is still very much the case. And that's because I started a second channel. Well, I've started many channels. This is not the second channel I've made. But I've started another channel called ChrisTheFields. It's wherever I put the frickin' annotation for it. But it's just new, brand new, just started a couple months ago. It was something meant for just my personal friends, but you guys have waited long enough. You deserve content from me whenever I make it. So this is just whatever I do with it. It's still very new, and I still don't know exactly where the channel is going at right now, but I have a sketch up about Smash Brothers, about me and my other self fighting it out. So if you are at all interested in it, go right ahead, check it out. If not, don't blame me at all. So that's it from me for today. So check out ChrisTheFields if you want. If not, whatever. Have a good day. Get Gunman Clive 2. Seriously, it's awesome.